Welcome to HASSDISCUSSES. We have Chuuwee. He's in the cut, and he's just made some of my favorite mixtapes of all time. I've listened for just like straight, like I've tried to show them all my friends for years, man. Ever since I found you from the mid '90s soundtrack, that was what put me on. I fuck with
Oh, nice. Hell yeah, that's fire.
the nothing at all song, which is but then I dived into your further discography and your collaborations with Imaginary Friends and A Wing and just so many other people. You've put a lot of amazing songs together. But what have you been up to today and lately in general, man?
I've been finalizing a bunch of projects, kind of like ending out my COVID because I got vaccination, so I'm like building up some tour dates. I'm trying to reach out, get more traveling going. But mostly I just been working on. I was gonna retire in the middle of the COVID. I just like had this revelation in my mind, and I was gonna stop rapping. So I recorded and mastered. Well, I mixed it. I recorded and mixed like a whole album that was supposed to be my last album ever.
Yeah.
My mom eventually talked me out of it.
Yeah.
So I've been finalizing that project because the idea behind the project is that it's a retirement party. I've got like super crazy ass ideas for the videos and for all the promo and everything. So I've been going like as hard as I've ever gone on a project on this one. And other than that, there's another album I've been working on for like 6 years. It's called Dio. I'm finally in the stages of finishing that. Like I've owed it to the label for like 3 or 4 years now. They haven't bothered me about it. Like they haven't pressed me or anything, but I've been working on 2 albums really, really, really hard because I think those are like turning points for me. And they're super important to me, like creative wise.
Is this the 5-part album? Is this what that was, or was that a different thing?
Okay. I'm on part 3 of that. And then I started doing a bunch of spin-offs. It's kind of like it's like the Conjuring universe.
Ha. Yeah.
Starting with the stem of a shroom and ending with Nephilim. All those albums are interconnected to each other.
Nephilim.
But then also though in the 5-part series, there's like different side spin-offs that become their own like properties, I guess. The whole thing is Dystopia. It's a 5-part series called Dystopia, but it has different parts. It was Paradiso, Purgator, what is the name of that project? Passover. But then something happened with that, so I had to replace it. Its replacement was the stem of a shroom. Part 4 is called Limbo, but I'm thinking of changing the name because someone else had an album called Limbo come out.
Amine.
And then part 5 is called Dystopia, just in itself. But all 5 of those albums together are called Dystopia. Like I said, I'm on part 3. There's a bunch of spin-offs. I'm on part 3, and I'm kind of deciding. No one's ever heard this before, so I'll share it with you. I'm deciding on whether or not there's actually going to be a part 4. I kind of don't want there to be a part 4 at all whatsoever. It exists right now, but I'm thinking of changing its name, calling it some other stuff, coming out with part 5, and then like I don't want there to ever be an official part 4. Just on some weird random, there's really no other reason behind that except like, what if there was part 4 missing and it never came?
Yeah.
That just came to me in a dream one day. I was just like, I was asleep and I had a dream, some weird ass dream about like a missing album everybody was looking for. And I woke up and I was like, wait, I should do something like that. That'd be fucking crazy. Like everybody would be online looking for Dystopia part 4 and it never existed.
Until one of your producers leaks it. Hopefully doesn't happen. Let's hope not.
Right. Then they drop my whole hard drive and it's over.
Yeah. That shit. I don't even know how these motherfuckers be getting like all these leaks online. Like it's people have been like, have you seen the video of Lil Uzi jumping the guy who leaked his like? He took a video of him like approaching somebody that leaked his stuff.
I saw that, but I thought it was fake.
Yeah, I mean, I could see it.
It looked a little staged.
He could have just got one of his like friends and be like, yo, sit here.
Right. Like, yo, okay, look, yo, like, let's just do this. This is engineer homie and shit. I don't know though. It looked staged to me, but I did see that. I always wondered that too. Like, the Carter 2 dropped like a week early in 2007. And I was super like, how the fuck did that happen? Because that was way before the internet was as technical as it is today, you know?
Do you mean the Carter 3 or Carter 2?
No, the Carter 2.
I thought that was 2005. Or I'm tripping. I don't know.
No, that's what I'm saying. It leaked. The Carter 2. Oh, wait. Was it maybe both of them? Lil Wayne's album leaked like a week early. And in that stage of time, I don't understand how that could have been done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, the internet was very, very far behind, and it's like, yo, that's fucking Lil Wayne. Like, who dropped the ball?
Yeah, like, but the thing about like Wayne is he would just kind of like invite anyone with him places. Like Drake was on the Carter 3 tour, but nobody really knew that until like 5 years later when he would say that shit in interviews, because like
Word, okay.
like
Well, yeah, because it's like the shit sold out too. So how would most people most people can't get into a fucking Lil Wayne concert?
yeah. A lot of
I feel that.
Like a lot of those Carter tapes though, like a lot of people just like they focus on Wayne's singles rather, and I just think like you guys like the Carter 4 I think like has a lot of like really beautiful songs on it, you know what I mean? Like
Word.
Like How to
maybe
Love.
I should give it another listen. And I think my favorite Carter is Carter 2. And then like Carter 1 is a very, very close close second, like very, very, very close. But the Carter 2, I think it is with Currency on there. Is Grown Man on the Carter 2?
I'll just look that shit up right now, but is it a song with
Grown
Currency?
Man is on Carter 2. That's how I was introduced to Currency. So like that's my favorite album because it's like just the production and the quality of it is insane to me.
Currency's a genius though. Like
Currency's OG. He's literally a legend.
Yeah, Grown Man. Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's the first time I ever heard Currency. That album is fucking crazy.
Yeah, bro. Like Currency did a recent project with Freddie Gibbs. That shit was insane. It was called Fetty and The Alchemist.
Yeah, he did a fucking NFT album too.
Oh man.
Yeah.
What does that mean though, bro? Like, what does that mean?
Like NFT?
I know what NFTs mean, but what does an album in the form of an NFT mean? Like, you know what I'm saying?
The same as a regular NFT. It's just audio. And then like, so I turned 3 of my albums into NFTs, but I never uploaded it because I was like, this is fucking retarded. Like, I just didn't understand it. It's really more so to me, it's like a private podcast. Like you gotta cram all that shit into one file. And then like you just upload a wave and it's the same as any other thing. It's the same as like a photo or you know what I mean? It's exactly the same. You have this big ass wave file with like, it's like a one file of like 13 songs or however many the artist gives you. And like, yeah, you name your price, you get a hold of it, he gets like a percentage if you sell it. It's exactly the same. It's just a big ass wave file.
So it's like selling the rights of something?
Of the file. Not really. Okay, wait, so you don't know how NFT works like in general, you just know what it means?
Yeah, I mean if you want to school me on it, go for it.
I don't have we might have the same amount of knowledge. So like I take a picture of me, post it up on the little website or whatever.
Yeah.
You are allowed to get like almost like a royalty when you sell your NFT to somebody.
Ooh.
So you can set a percentage on how much you get if they end up selling it. But it's like if I took a fucking screenshot of this right now, and when you put it into an NFT, like the whole NFT thing, no one else can have it. It's like one of a kind. It can't be replicated. There's like a chain of everybody who owned it. Like, I really don't understand what the fuck the hype is at all. It seems
it's
really
like crypto, man. It's like the poop coin.
It's like art. Yeah, like crypto art. But I don't fucking understand, like, why that's amazing to people. You know what I mean? Like, it's really stupid to me. I don't understand it. And so, yeah, like with an NFT album, it'll be one big wave file. I have to compress like 10 songs into one file because it's got to be like it's got to be a certain size format wise. It's got to be a certain amount of megabytes. And then it's got to be one track. You can't upload like 5 songs. And So it's not even like a conventional album, you know what I mean? It's just one file, like podcast style, where you can't skip through shit. You should listen to the whole file.
Tori went crazy with that, with his music videos. He went crazy with that. You did a song
like,
with him.
You upload it in there, and like you'd be the only person with my NFT album unless you decide to sell it to other people.
Yeah, and you did a song with Tory Lanez, right?
Kind of, yeah. Mark Battles did a song with Tory Lanez. He put me on it.
Yeah.
It was a song he had, and he remixed it because it was me, him, Futuristic, and Tory Lanez. He already had the song, and he was going to put it out because he'd been sitting on it for a minute. So, like, it wasn't... I highly doubt Tory Lanez even knows he's on it.
Yeah. It's fine, though. It's like a fire song, though. It's like...
And he's cool with Mark Battles. Like, they're cool people. They talk, but I didn't talk to him or nothing. Like, Mark Battles hit me up. He was like, yo, I got this record I've been sitting on. I want to put you on it.
Yeah, but it's like if I'm doing a song, so I know Project Pat, and if I ever not rap, I produce. So if I did a song with Project, what you say?
I'm a huge 3-6 fan.
Yeah, but like I'm telling you, since I have a rap group and all my friends love 3-6, if I ever did a Project Pat song, I'm getting 10 people on it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like posse cut for real.
Yeah, like, and because they're my homies and I want to get them involved on something that, you know, they would fucking be like, oh my god, I'm on a song. You know what I mean? Just because they're my
friends. Yeah. That's real, man. That's hella tight.
If I ever did that, and
right, that's dope. You think that way?
Yeah, man. That's why I love being in like, music group, or just, I think it's really important for any young rapper or producer to like get clicked up. Don't think it's gonna be that way the entire career, or like not even an official clique that you have to be a member of, but like at least find 3 people like that are around you either physically or like on the internet, and make a group chat. Like, you know how like it just like, who in the beginning was somebody that you linked up with that really either mentored you or like that you just started making stuff with in general? Like, who were those people in the early days?
It wasn't until a little bit later that I linked up with Trizz, but I still do, and like always worked extensively with a bunch of guys that I guess grew up with, like, per se. When I was 19, 20, I was like doing rap stuff. I was going around different places in the scene in Sacramento or whatever. And I ran into a bunch of different guys. One of them I can answer that better. The first person I ever clicked up with, it was a guy. He was like 2 grades older than me in high school. And when I was like 10th grade, he was a senior. And they were doing poetry slams at the high school. But they would let us come up there and rap, though. And it was hella funny, too, because he was a lot more outright academic than I was. You know, like, he looked nerdy. I didn't look very nerdy, you know?
Yeah.
So he figured I was like hella more hood than I was. And it was hella funny because he was like kind of scared of us and shit when we used to come around. And we were on some like, yo, we can't be in there like hella hyphy because like he a senior, he finna go to college type shit. He not on that. So like we gotta come in there and just be cool because like he not on that. But his name was Jay Good. He used to like put us on a bunch of shit. Just like different people at high school that were rapping or trying to do some shit. Every time they threw a poetry slam, he would let us come and rap up there. We'd go up there and kick it. And I was doing rap and poetry, but nobody knew I was doing poetry. Once I left the school, I kind of like kept in contact with him a little bit because he was making music on MySpace and shit. And I didn't know anybody was doing that. So I was like talking to him, asking questions and shit. We ended up forming a group called the Avengers. So that was like the first time I clicked up with somebody who was a dude I went to high school with. Then I moved high schools and I clicked up with another dude because he was the only motherfucker I knew at like age 17, 18 that had a recording studio. Like he had a full home setup. His parents were letting him fucking charge people for sessions. In like 12th grade, he was running like 4 or 5 hour sessions charging people for it. And I'd never seen that shit before. Like it was like you had to be an adult man somewhere with a spot downtown or some shit to have a studio. Like I never knew anybody other than my mom that had a studio in their house. And he was the only person in our age group that was literally like charging people. He was charging like $25 an hour. People were pulling up too. They were like selling weed and shit to go record at his house. So the first mixtape I ever did was with him. And it had a little blogspot website and everything. Then after that, that was in 11th, 12th grade. After that is when I met. I started like a crew called TUS. It stood for the Usual Suspects, and we were probably
You
about
love
like
movies,
50.
it seems.
So some people in the crew had seen the movie. I had never saw the movie. I just thought it was a tight ass thing, but I think it did come from the movie though. We were probably about like 15 deep, and it was just like a bunch of local dudes from SAC all over different parts of SAC. And at the time, we were like really, really serious about doing shit. We would go to all the little events around town. We would go all the open mics. We were like going to other people's shows, trying to pass out CDs and shit, talk to promoters. For me, it was the first time I'd ever seen someone could have access to create music. Like, I didn't ever think that shit was possible. I thought you just go to your homie's house, drop a verse real quick, and then y'all just play that shit at the party, or whenever y'all kick it in the car, y'all just play it like, oh yeah, we made a little song. I never knew you could really like go the fuck outside and perform places. I didn't know you could like have shows, especially in SAC, because I didn't know shit about venues or nothing back then. And I was only probably about 17 or 18 at this time. Those were the first moments of me clicking with people. Like, we were really like meeting up, having like full-fledged studio sessions. We were printing up CDs, making flyers and shit. We were going around town. We have this thing out here in SAC called Second Saturday, and it's kind of like a block party. For like 4 or 5 blocks, they would do little art shows and shit on the street. We would actually go in front of these stores and rap. Like, they start having us come. I realize present day now that they were just taking advantage of the fact we were bringing people to their stores. But at that time, we were like, hell yeah, we're about to go to Whoopie Whoop. They're finna let us freestyle in front of the store all night long. We are fucking doing it. Like, we were hella excited. Those were my first moments of clicking up. And then, like I said, later on, I started linking with Trizz, but that was on like a larger level in itself. Like, I had already done some things myself. I was in a weird ass label situation, and I already knew a bunch of shit. Like, by that time, I was quote unquote on.
Yeah, like, it seems like you've been doing a lot more stuff before you linked up with Trizz, but like, I love the shit that you've done with Trizz. It's like it's beautiful to me. Like, how did you link up with him and shit?
He hit me up on the internet one day. He was trying to get a feature, and he said something about knowing Brother Lynch, or like being Brother Lynch's little homie or some shit. And so I felt like it was gonna be disrespectful if I didn't like hear what he was talking about, because Brother Lynch is an OG from my town. So, like, yeah, he hit me up on Twitter. He was like, yo, I'm trying to work with you. I fuck with Brother Lynch. I was like, all right, cool. Like, send it through. I'll just do that shit when I can. I was somewhere out of town. I was in Colorado. The first time I had ever seen him in person, because he was on an independent powerhouse tour with Tech Nine. And he pulled up to my studio session with some tickets for me and the homies. And he was like, yo, we got a show if you want to pull up. I was like, oh, bet. That was actually the first Tech Nine show that I ever went to. Then I was somewhere else. I was in like Texas or some shit. I was somewhere else and he was there. So I was like, oh, yo, we over here if you want to pull up. Then he was somewhere out of town again, and I had just moved to San Diego. And matter of fact, he had just got back from somewhere or some shit. Like, he said something on the internet, and I was like, yo, you should pull up to the crib. So then he came to my house, and I got a funny ass story about that too. I had some weak ass weed, and I spliffed it. I put like tobacco in there and like some extra whack ass weed. And I wasn't telling people because I thought everybody was on it. Evidence from Dilated Peoples put me on the spliff. I put my mom onto it. I thought everybody knew about it because I was like kind of fake rookie. Like, I smoked a lot, but I didn't know too much shit about it. I just knew how to roll blunt. I didn't know about strands and shit. Like, I was just getting high. So I smoked the spliff. Long story short, I passed him the joint and he hit it, and like he started coughing dumbass hard because there's like hella cigarette in there, right? Yeah. And I'm like, oh fuck, my bad, bro. Like, that's a spliff. And the weed was hella weak, but I wasn't trying to be a bad host. Like, I was going through some shit. I was hella broke and shit. I'm like, man, I don't want this nigga to pull up. We ain't got no joke. Like, so it was hella fucking funny. He hit the joint and he's like, I'm like,
some people aren't used to that fucking tobacco, man.
Yeah, and he's like, yo, I'm cool off that. I'm like, damn, my bad, fuck.
It's funny. Shit.
Yeah.
So,
but
like,
that's how I met Trizz. He hit me up on the net, and then like we just like linked up a few times in person. When we started doing music, it was because, like I said, I was going through some label shit, and like legally, I couldn't release music. They had shut my Bandcamp page down so many times that Bandcamp hit me up in the email and was like, you can't have a Bandcamp because it's liability to our website.
That's horrible. Are you serious?
Yeah, bro, I've been through a lot of shit. So
what label was this? If you want, you don't have to speak on it, but
I won't say their name, but it was a distribution company that I was working with. They have a record label, they have distribution, and then they have management. Shit started getting weird when my contract was ending, and I can tell you why actually. They fucking got a deal for like $500,000. They were negotiating a deal for $500,000 for like 3 albums, and I can't remember who, it was some private investor. We started falling out because they was doing shady shit around the time that they were negotiating that. They never told me they were working on a fucking deal though, because I would have just kept it G and just like dealt with it later once I got some money. I'd have got better lawyers, you know? But they started doing weird shit and they were negotiating, and it was all around the same time when my contract was expiring. So I fucking opted out as I'm supposed to legally because I didn't want to be in the management anymore. They fucking did some weird shit, denied my opt-out. They took my contract from management and applied it to a record deal from like one of their standard company record deals. They were trying to hold me in contract until they got the $500,000 deal secured. But nobody ever fucking told me there was a $500,000 deal. So, like, I'm a Virgo. I started wilding the fuck out.
I'm a Virgo too? What the fuck? When's your birthday?
September 7th.
Mine's September 17th, yo. What the heck?
Nice. My daughter's is September 15th.
That's dope.
Yeah. I started wilding the fuck out. Like, yo, this shit is shady, woo-de-woo, and like everything just fucking crumbled. So that long story short, all of that was going on when I met Ace and Trizz. So I was literally like, fuck rap, I'm cool off this shit. Like, I'll do some songs, I'll drop some verses or whatever, but like I don't give a fuck about none of this shit. Like, I gotta go to work later.
Yeah.
I was working on what became America's Most Blunted by myself, and it was supposed to be an alternative trap style of like MF Doom's Mad Villainy. Like I'm hella into Doom. He's like our godsend. So I was just working on styles and shit. I used to lock myself in the studio and work on different music styles. And I was like, you know what? I'm finna do like some trap Doom shit, like some super somber, sad ass, like Frank Ocean trap Doom. And it was called America's Most Blunted because of the Doom song. I
asked Trizz about that. He told me that.
Yeah, the album was gonna be called my rap name. I had changed it to Ante Hunt. It's like a scrambling of my real name. I was changing my name to Ante Hunt, and the album was gonna be called America's Most Blunted. Went to record with Trizz and Ace. We was kicking it for like a week and shit, just making tracks. I did what became fucking great. And I told him when I did it, I was like, this shit is going to be phenomenal. Like, this is going to blow the fuck up. Watch, I promise you, this is going to be the greatest shit that you've ever been a part of. And it blew the fuck up. As we kept adding songs to that, like, we were hyped off that. We did that shit probably the second day we were working. As we kept adding songs to it, the idea just came in my head again. I was like, oh, yo, fucking let's call this shit America's Most Blunted. And they were like, oh, that's hard as fuck. I was like, yeah, it's an MF Doom song, but like niggas will fuck with it. Like, let's just do that. And like it stuck. It just became a fucking thing right then and there. I didn't know the album and the series and us. I didn't know none of that shit was gonna be as big as it is. I knew fucking Great was going to be huge.
But yeah, like nothing at all though.
I didn't know any of that other shit was going to blow up the way it did.
But I gotta ask you though, did you think, how do I say this? After those label troubles, did you find a home at Below System? Like, has it been great experience with your current label?
Yeah, because of that label experience is why, that's why I work the way I work. And I guess that's why I have the successes I have. I only do one-off albums now. I do one-off 50-50 split distribution. If you give me in advance, that's fine. You get your shit back and then we 50-50. And it literally actually was Below System. Shout out to JR and PH7. I did an album called the South Sac Mac. It was sponsored by LRG Europe, all kind of shit. Like, we were doing it fucking huge. They sent us these big ass boxes of clothes. We were driving around for a month shooting fucking documentary videos and shit about the album. We were doing it huge. That other label got in the way. Below System was who lined all that up and was arranging for, like, they were going to put it out. They literally waited like 3 years. I had to wait like 3 years till my contract expired. Then I had to put out 2 other albums. They waited like 3 years and then picked up right where we left off. And so I've been working with them since, because like, yeah, for one, they took a chance on me on a more major release. They gave me my first independent advance. And then two, I was like literally in a fucking like how they be like free old deal. I was in one of those type of fucking contracts. Like I was in a what's that girl? I was in a Summer Walker contract. Man, that shit was fucking up. Yeah. I was in an ugly ass contract and they waited hella long. They held it down. Them and Foundation Media. Foundation Media and Below System Records, I like forever. The album I told you I've been working for 6 years. The Dio album, they're putting it out. They've been waiting for like 6 years. They haven't said shit to me. They've been waiting for 6 years. They gave me some money and they've been waiting. They're like, nah, you do what you need to do. They just been waiting for me. They ain't said shit to me. They're not even mad about it. So yeah, I did find a home with them because I was able to build who I am right now through them. It wasn't no weird shit. They weren't like taking other services and shit on the side, making me obligated to shit that I didn't know I was obligated for. It was just straightforward business. They send over the reports. If you need help financially, here's the breakdown. Like, it was no weird shit whatsoever at all. They were straightforward. Everything made sense. Everything was exactly how I needed it to be to progress where I want to.
Shouts out to them. All right, so how would you rank your projects with Trizz? Like, you know, all the way from the 3, America's Most Blunted, and also 8. There's 8th, right? Is there any more I'm missing? But how would you rank them if you could, off the top of your head, if you want to do
that? The A&B albums from best to least favorite are A&B 2, A&B 3. Out of the spinoffs, the only one that I like is Smokeout. And 8th, out of everything we've done together, 8th is probably my second or third favorite project. 8th, I think, is a little bit ahead of everybody's time, though. Like, in another 2 or 3 years, or like when we drop some more shit later, that's when people are going to be like, oh, 8th is fucking crazy. Like, 8th is ahead of its time. I don't think people understood what I was doing with that, especially too with like the branding and shit.
Dispensary was good. It was one of my favorite tracks off that.
Yeah, people didn't really understand what I was trying to do with that. But like in another 2 or 3 years, they're going to be like, oh, this shit is genius.
Yeah, bro. I really fuck with that one. And I think my favorite track that y'all two have done, besides Nothing at All and Fucking Great, would be May I. Who produced that one?
Ace. Yeah, Ace made that. Is that on A&B 1?
2.
Okay. Shit. I think Ace made that. I'm pretty sure Ace made that.
Yeah, I know. It just gets, you know, I don't know how many years ago that was, but you know what I mean? That's crazy,
that was so fucking long ago.
2014 is almost going to be 10 years ago, bro. What?
Jesus Christ. Okay, yeah, because see, I got projects that are like 11 years old type shit. That's crazy.
Jesus, man. I'm just kidding.
That's damn. I have 0 perception.
Yeah, bro. I mean, how old are you, man? Like Jesus, like
31.
What?
31.
Yeah, like, how do I say this? Like, the shit that's still, like, everything's still, like, the same, but still very different than how it was back then. Everything was way more innocent back then when it came to, like, the culture and
Yeah.
I don't know if you get what I mean.
I do. I think I get what you mean.
Like, just underground rap more so. It was way more innocent. Like,
yeah, they were just finding themselves. They didn't have like a character. You know, they were kind of just like, because even me in my early shit, I'm all scared on camera and shit. You know, I'm like, fuck. They're fucking filming me. There's people back there shopping. Like, the fuck. But I think I know what you mean. Yeah, because for myself too, I'm comfortable now. Yeah, I know who I am. I know how I'm a rap. I have rap styles. Back then, I'd hear some Jay-Z shit and be like, oh, that's crazy. And I'd take the line or I'd hear some shit and be like, oh, I'm going to flip this. I had too much integrity as an artist back then, too. Like, here and there, I'll get on Twitter and I'll say some stupid ass shit to troll. But back then, I used to be like, fuck Whoop-de-Whoop, his album is trash. And I didn't know I was, like, getting big. So, like, motherfuckers didn't want to meet me and shit when I was, like, popping up on the scene. Because they were like, oh, that dude be talking crazy on the internet.
Yeah, like, Space Ghost Perp, they don't want
Yeah, like, and see, like you said, I was hella innocent. Like I was like, they don't fucking know me. They're never gonna meet me, nigga. Like this shit. Even right now, sometimes I be like, I'm the man in my shit. You know, like in my world, I'm that nigga. So like if you fuck with me, then you're a part of my world. But I don't never stop and think like, damn, Big Sean might see me say some shit about his album. Cause like, nigga, you're pretty big, nigga. You're not signed to anybody, but you're fucking big. Yeah. And I think sometimes too, I'd be like, oh, that's why you not signed, because you said some weird ass shit about Kanye.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, like I don't good, man, that label situation, like good record, whatever it was called, that shit's failed, dead. The Kanye label, Good Music, is kind of dead. Music,
yeah. Man, I knew something was weird because you heard of Ali?
Is that an artist?
Yeah, he's from Chicago. He signed to him probably like 2-3 years ago. He was only signing him for like a year, and I was like, okay, yeah, it's hella fucked up over there, because he was literally only signed for like a year, and then he was just doing his own thing. But yeah, that label's kind of strange. They got some of my favorite artists over there still, though.
Yeah, and they used to have Pharrell, but now it's like
I signed to Good Music for one EP. I signed to Good Music for one fucking EP. No advance, nigga. Just promote that motherfucker.
That's good that you think like how do I say this? Like you've been in this shit a while, that you like know how like a label deal would like work, or like the contracts. Like I don't know shit about that, but I'm saying like some people just sign contracts and they don't have like they're misguided with what they choose to do.
Right.
And I feel like you had to learn the hard way, but now like I'm saying, you know what I mean? Like you had to learn the hard way.
I had to learn the hard way on some shady shit, because I always been like that. It took me damn near a fucking month to officially sign to the label that was managing me, and I signed for management. Like they called me in like June of like 2013. It was my first time ever being in San Diego, because the girl I was with at the time, my baby's mom, she fucking was hot, because she was like, oh, you're gonna fucking stay down there. Like I was gonna move down there and get a job and shit until everything started like moving forward. Like when they called me, I was like, oh, it's over, nigga. Like I'm just gonna stay down here and rap. It's cool. Fucking I negotiated and like talked about the contract for hella long. There was like people in the Bay Area and shit that I know, like they're big in their right. And like the homegirl, she was studying law. She's actually a lawyer. I was like, yo, can you like look over this for me? And I had hella people looking over my contract and all kind of shit, because it was like the first major life decision that I had to make in terms of my music. So like, no, it took me hella long to even sign the contract. And I've always been like that just because of my dad. Like when you go to the fucking doctor and they make you sign shit, my dad be like, always make sure you read some shit before you sign it.
Yeah.
So
that's good.
I've been like that forever, really. It wasn't until present day, once I started getting like more aspect of like behind the scenes shit, how to promote yourself, how to do shit on your own. One day I literally Googled how to get your shit on Spotify. It wasn't until I started doing all that shit that people started actually giving me like offers and deals that were worth my time. And every time I'd be like, I'm only doing one-offs. And they'd be like, oh, okay. Like even now, the money and shit that they'll give me, I'm like, you know you need to pay me way the fuck more than that. Like we could do that though. We could do this because like I'm gonna take this and feed my family with it and just create by my means. But like nigga, you owe me way more money than this. I could definitely negotiate way harder. It's all like it's negotiation, and it's just like knowing what you can do for yourself. You know what I mean? Like
in that
some
situation,
it's what you're trying to do and what you can do. Some people are trying to feed a lot of people. Like I take care of a small amount of people when I can and how I can. So I'm not necessarily like, I'm not trying to feed like 18 motherfuckers and my neighborhood. I'm not trying to like have 20 motherfuckers with me in the lab type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just kicking down money to my mom and shit if she needed, and whoever else in the family might go through some shit. Like I don't need $50,000 for one album. Hell yeah, I'm worth that. But in terms of business, like it's gonna take hella long for me to pay that back. They're not gonna promote this shit, period. No matter like even the little tricks that they do for promotion, they'll throw your shit in a Spotify playlist, whatever. They're not gonna promote the shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're not going to do it the way they need to or the way that they should so that we can all get that large outcome. They're not going to do that shit. So I'm not finna take $45,000, $50,000 in a fucking one for an advance for a project because, like I said, then I got to try to eat with that shit for 3 years because I'm not finna get no more fucking stream recoup. I owe these motherfuckers hella money. They're barely promoting the shit because that 50,000 is pocket change to them. They want me to do all the fucking work. You know what I mean? Like, it's just what you can do and what you plan on doing. I don't plan on feeding hella people with an advance. I plan on putting some of that shit to the side to take care of my daughter and pay my bills. And then I plan on using the rest of that shit to keep making bigger projects and bigger projects. Because then that way, once you get a larger mass appeal in front of you, you can do that shit on your own. If you sign to a major tomorrow for one album, if it goes bad or not, that's a million fucking people that you're exposed to now. Anything you do from that point on, it's going to be at least 3,000 people giving a fuck about that.
Damn. You're really spitting.
You know what I mean? It's what you want to do and what you plan to do. I plan to keep making albums until the audience keeps getting bigger off of them. Then, I'll go to Def Jam and be like, nigga, I need 500,000 because I didn't get all this shit in 10 years. That's when I'll come to somebody, and even that, I'm not going to fucking go buy everyone a house. I'm going to buy one big-ass property that all my family can post up and be safe and happy and healthy in. Then I'm going to start going and making investments and shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not finna go buy 6 Benzes and shit. I'm going to go get a little bit of a nicer car than I got right now so I can hit the fucking road and start going and doing videos, start investing, start fucking, you know what I mean? It's what you plan to do and what you can do. You're not necessarily supposed to be trying to get rich off of a deal. You're supposed to be using that shit to put some money in your pocket to survive and then continue to grow your business.
It is, yeah. You like every artist is a business, you know. That's not like a hot take, but I'm just saying like people have to think it as in that way, and it's not like it's not really. It is all about the artist, but it's like more about like fucking like building a group of people around you, or like at least or building a group of like resources like that you know of, like certain press people that you got to be friendly with.
Right.
Like my music group would get no buzz if I wasn't friendly with another podcaster guy named Baker, exactly. who like he'll post my shit without me even asking whenever my group puts out new shit. And he's got like hella followers, and he's always doing promo for me that I don't even ask for. If I wasn't friendly with that guy and I didn't bring him on this podcast and try and treat him the way that he treated my group, then we wouldn't get all the buzz that my music group has gotten. We don't have a lot of buzz, but you know what I'm saying? Like there's certain it's like fucking the word networking, motherfuckers teach you in business school.
No, I feel exactly what you're saying about making connections so that you can do what you got to do. I tell people that all the time because they be trying to do something with somebody, or like the homies will get hired to shoot a video and they're like trying to show them like, yo, I rap too. And I'm like, no, don't do that. Like keep shooting videos for them, build up your tape. Cause then when you got a project, you could be like, yo, so I've been working on a project. You done to like throw me a verse. I'm getting ready to drop. People respect that shit more than like, hey, check out my music. I'm trying to like, no, you do like 5 videos for a dude. Then be like, yo, I'm trying to get a verse, man. I've been working on some music behind the scenes. I got a whole project ready to drop. That's how you approach people about trying to link. But you're entirely fucking right. Because there's a lot of things that I do not have because I'm not that kind of friendly. I don't like to do that. I do that when it's reciprocated, but I don't like to do that.
Yeah,
that's one of the biggest parts of the industry that I hate, like your shit or care about you.
Hold up, it's like slowing down a bit. All right, we're good now. But yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Like you gotta like always have something that you're offering back to someone, but you still gotta like be friendly with motherfuckers, and it's hard for people to do that. But anyways, let's get into some a different topic. I'm a big fan of like, you know, the shit that you've dropped in the past like 2 to 3 years. Like there's always something every 3 months. You're like Bones with this shit. You're always dropping something. How long do a majority of your projects take to make?
Nice. So it ranges because sometimes I'll make a project in a week, and then other times it'll take me like a long time. Like I said, I've been working on an album for 6 years now. But then there's projects that I dropped like this year and last year that I did in like 3 days, you know? What usually takes the longest time is like the final process, like me getting the songs ordered, picking which ones are gonna stay on there. And I usually create the same way. I get an idea and then I base around it. So I don't really like pick beats and just sit them in a folder or nothing like that. I'll get like a sound, or I have like 2 or 3 songs. I'm like, fuck, this will make a crazy album. Then I start building the album that way. So the longest part of my creation is always like finalizing, getting the master done, getting the artwork, shit like that. It just ranges creatively though. Like I said, sometimes I'll do the retirement album. I did the whole retirement album in 2 weeks in my living room. And it wouldn't have taken 2 weeks. I like pick my daughter up from school, shit like that. So there were days where I had limited time. So if it had just been like me just going straight in, that shit probably would have been done in like 3-4 days. Cause I was just in that mode. You know what I mean? I had the idea in my head. I hella felt it in my soul. And like every beat that I had in the folder, like people would send me beats and I'd be like, fuck, this hella fits the album. And I just throw it in there. It was like the planet was literally helping me create the album. So sometimes that shit will be 3 days. Sometimes that shit will be 6 years.
Yeah, I feel you. And like, someone that you work with consistently is imaginary friends. Like, who is that? Like, is that like,
other? Imaginary other. Me and the imaginary other are imaginary friends.
Yeah. Okay. So like,
yeah.
How did you link up with this person, and who is this person?
That's my cousin. He raps also under the name Abstract Ninja, and one day we were like high as fuck. I think we were on shrooms or acid. One day we were high as fuck, and he was like, "Yo, I want to make beats." And I was like, "Nigga, you should do that shit. Like, you should do it. You're gonna be hella good at it." And fast forward, he's like amazing at it. But that's my cousin. That's my blood cousin. My mom and his mom, they used to like spend the night at each other's houses and shit. That's my cousin. I've been working with him forever. He was a part of my TUS crew. He's one of the guys that I fucking met like out in the city, and I've been working with him since. I actually found out he was my cousin at my first headlining show. I didn't find out he was my cousin until like 3 years after I met him.
What do you mean? Like,
I met him through my baby mom. She went to high school with him, and she was like, "Oh, he's like my brother. You should meet him. I think you guys would get along." So we went to his house and we were smoking weed and shit. We were kicking it. I was like, "Hey, he's a cool ass dude." He started like talking to me about music and shit. I was like, "Oh man, I be listening to all that type of shit." He wasn't rapping at the time, and he was like, "Yo, I be like kind of working on some shit. If you got a chance one day, like let me spit you some shit." And like he had already knew who I was. He had heard my shit or whatever, and he liked it. And so one day I went over there, we were kicking in shit. He started rapping me shit. I was like, "Nigga, this is hard. It's like Tribe Called Quest meets Doom." And I took him to this DJ's house. Dude was doing like drops and shit for people. For like $50, he'd do a drop and like put your tape on his site and shit. I did a fucking I bought up a drop for him and was like, "Yo, like he working on a tape. He trying to get in the scene with you." And like we just started fucking going from there.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Shouts out to him. I really enjoy your work with him. Like it's always something. It's all you guys like seem like you're always working on something. Like you guys always.
I was supposed to tell you how I found. My bad. I was supposed to tell you I found out he was my cousin. I had a show. And his mom was there, and my mom was there, and she walked in, and she's like, "Who is that?" And I was like, "Oh, that's Abstract's mom." She was like, "That's my fucking cousin." I was like, "No way." She was like, "Yeah, that's my fucking cousin." And she walked up, they started talking and shit. He came out the bathroom. I was like, "Nigga, we're cousins."
That's amazing, man. That's like a movie.
Yeah, it was hella fun.
Like
it was fucking hilarious. It was literally like a comedy scene.
Yeah, bro. Shit. You know, you remind me of like. How do I say this? You give me the vibe of like Gata from Dave. Anybody ever said that about you?
Yeah, because it started getting fucking annoying because they would hit me up on Instagram and shit and be like, "Yo, are you on Dave?" And at first I thought motherfuckers were joking, but like some people like genuinely fucking thought that I was on Dave.
God damn.
I did a fucking IG story post about it one day. I was like, "Yo, nigga, stop fucking asking me if I'm on Dave. Like, if I was on TV, nigga, why in the fuck would I not be like, yo, I'm on TV?" Cause then I was like, I had a fucking song in Better Call Saul, and I was like, yo, nigga, I'm on TV, and nobody gave
Yeah,
a
I was
fuck.
just about to
So
say. Yeah.
So why in the fuck would I not be like, yo, nigga, I'm on FX with Lil Dicky? Like, why would I not say that? No, I'm not fucking gated. Nigga, stop asking me that. People were asking me that shit for like a month. It was hella stupid.
How did you get on the Better Call Saul soundtrack?
A company that I work with that does publishing, cause I got like 2 other placements with them. I got a Black and Mild placement, and I got a JanSport commercial placement on YouTube.
So like they kind of set that up.
Yeah, they do sync licensing. Like they work with people who look for songs for shit. And so yeah, like they got a really, really good connection with NBC. So like one of the reps just hit them up like, yo, we're looking for songs for this season of this, and like he sent them my shit and they picked it.
Shouts out to them though. That's like, you fuck with like, do you watch like that? Do you watch that universe? I do not, man. I used to watch Breaking Bad in like 2007. 2007, I seen like the first 2 seasons, and I was like, oh, this is cool or whatever, because I used to watch it like every time I went to cut my grandma's grass every weekend. But I just like stopped getting into it. I was telling people about it because I was into it because the fucking I was like, yo, nigga, the dad from Malcolm in the Middle is selling dope out of an RV. And they're like, that sounds dumb. I'm like, no, that shit is hard. And then like fast forward, it was like a fucking phenomenon. And I'm like, I already watched that shit. I'm cool up there. Better Call Saul, the first and only time I ever saw that shit was the episode that my song is in. Like literally, I do not like any of that type of shit. Yeah. That's crazy.
It's like mad boring to me. All that shit is boring to me.
What shows aren't boring to you? Like, what shows do you fuck with?
I think I kind of like BMF. I was watching that shit with my mom. It was interesting as hell. But I really just be watching horror movies and fucking anime, man. And I be watching like fucked up ass shit on YouTube, like people missing and shit like that. I'm not really like a TV dude. I watch random ass fucking animes, especially old ones. Like I watch like fucking 1995 to 2007 ass animes, and then I'll just go on YouTube and type in like murder crimes. What's this guy's name? I can't remember the channel. He just be like talking about crimes that people committed, and for some reason I like to see how many of them are like in places that I've been to, because I'd be like, yeah, that's fucked up.
I mean, you're on the West Coast, so like you were like around the time like your parents were like growing up, the whole like, I'm saying like there's way more like serial killers that are popular on the West Coast than the East Coast. I'm not making a statement. I'm just saying like
I have this whole ass fucking thing about that in general. Just like that's got to be some American shit. You know what I mean? Because like there's not too many famous German serial. You know what I mean? Like that's some American shit that a motherfucker can be famous for killing people.
Yeah. Okay. I get
like
what you're saying. That's weird. Yeah.
They don't really do that shit anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't be a famous serial. Like there's no fucking Korean Jeffrey Dahmer. You know?
Damn. Whoa. We're getting into something, man.
But you know what I mean? Like that shit has to be some American shit. Like you could be famous for any fucking thing here. Anything. You could be famous for fucking killing people. That like that shit.
You know what it boils down to?
Pages. They have Wikipedia pages documenting the life and times of fucking mobsters. Like they have a Lucky Luciano fucking Wikipedia page. He's a famous Italian mobster. That's got to be some American shit. Like that's fucking crazy.
You know what that really boils down to? Is that in America, anything can be exploited by a company.
Right, exactly. Like, American people want to be famous so fucking bad that anything can be a market.
Yeah.
Like, they fucking sell Jeffrey Dahmer t-shirts. That's fucking crazy.
I want to get one.
Right, like, I can't really talk too much shit because, like, when I was 8, I was like, oh, these guys are famous serial killers. Like I was hella just like, why is that a thing? Like since 8 years old, I've been like, why is that a thing? Why is that a thing? But I used to fucking read the obituary at like 6 years old to see if I knew anybody in it. So like I've always been off.
Off, yeah, I know what you mean. Like yeah, it is yeah, I don't know what obituaries like are like they're hella interesting, man. Like it's, even if you know like shitty, like there's the obituary for like some guy in Wilmington near me, because I live in Delaware, and he killed he killed his like secretary, and like in the obituary for him, it doesn't mention that he killed someone. And I'm thinking like, yeah, nah, I wouldn't want that on my obituary.
Right. Like everybody be like, here lies, whoa, what? Fuck him.
Yeah, man. Like, I bet like there was probably less than 10 people at that guy's funeral. It's a big case. It was like the James Capano thing. He killed his secretary, and he put her in a cooler, drove her into the ocean, shot the cooler. The cooler started floating. So what he did is he had to go swim and drive the boat to get the cooler, and then he got the body out of the cooler, wrapped it in the anchor, and then dropped the body tied to the anchor. But it was like a whole like fuck up and shit. And then somebody found.
That's the kind of shit that I look up on YouTube.
yeah.
Like dead ass. Like I'll be on the couch playing the Switch, and I'll be like, "Oh, this motherfucker's crazy."
Yeah, the creepypastas. Or whatever.
Yeah, that's fucking wild, bro. That happened like up by where you live.
Yeah, Wilmington. It's just like the biggest city in Delaware. Like everywhere else is like just small, like suburban, slightly urban. Like there's like a little like like it's like we don't even have 1 million people in the state. You know what I mean? Like in Delaware.
Yeah, small town.
But I mean, there is hella music though. Like that's like I wouldn't have gotten into like interviewing people if it weren't for like me interviewing a kid in my school who did rap stuff. So like there is hella music out here. It's just like nobody has ever really gotten that big and signed to a label, and if they have, it's like they haven't really done shit. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, I feel that. Yeah,
like I can name hella like Sacramento artists or like just West Coast artists like from where you're from in general that are just huge and stuff. Like would anybody like from Sacramento that you listened to growing up that you would like want to shout out, like old Sacramento artists?
We used to listen to fucking. I ain't getting to like Sebo and Brother Lynch until I was probably like 18 or 19.
Sebo's from Sacramento?
Hell yeah.
I'm a huge fan of him, yo. What the fuck?
That's fucking crazy. That's hella right. Yeah, Sebo's from Sac.
Tales
Sebo,
from the
X-rated, Brother Lynch. Sebo, X-rated, brother. No order. Sebo, X-rated, Brother Lynch, and then Mozzie are the biggest artists from our city. Them is the only niggas to ever like do some super, super huge shit in our city. And then like now, present day, it's a bunch of people who making their waves and getting their shine. But Sebo, Brother Lynch, that's fucking hard, bro. Sebo, Brother Lynch, X-rated, and Mozzie are like the biggest people from Sacramento. And I would fall under there somewhere, but I'd probably be like ranked 10 or 11.
Yeah.
And fucking Doy Rock, I can't forget Doy Rock. Rest in peace.
I'm a dude, Sebo, man. Like I'm a big fan of Sick Records, and they like do a lot of reissue of like good old '90s albums. Like, and one of them they reissued a Sebo thing, and I checked it out and I loved it. But they've also reissued Gangsta Pat's Deadly Verses, who's a Memphis rapper.
Yeah, no, I know Gangsta Pat.
Yeah, I'm obsessed with Memphis rap. I'm obsessed with Dallas rap and Houston rap. I'm a big fan of the funk scene.
You ever listen to Gangsta Nip?
No, I did not.
You should listen to Gangsta Nip. If you like all that type of rap, you should listen to Gangsta Nip. And that shit go open like a whole portal for you of like there's other people outside of 3-6 in Memphis that was doing like horrorcore type gangster rap.
Let me tell you, there's a whole subgenre of rap called funk, and it's modernized Memphis rap. Like that's that's the shit that I'm
you mean funk, like PHONK.
Yeah, like I'm real tapped into that scene. Like a lot of the people that I interview are tapped into that scene.
I know about that, cause you said Bones is on that type of shit.
Yeah, like or Sesh, Hollow Water Boys, like.
Yeah, no, I've been listening to Sesh, Hollow Water Boys for a minute.
I mean, you're from California and you're like way more cultured than me.
I done met Eddie Baker a couple times. He cool people.
Yeah, oh my God. That's crazy. I fuck with him so much. Damn.
Yeah, I done met him a couple times. Actually, the first time I ever met him in person, I got a funny ass story. I don't even think he know this shit. First time I ever met him in person, I was in a party in LA. And I had come out with an album called Crown Me King, and I was just like talking shit about hella people in the industry. I was talking shit about anybody in the industry. like I had said some shit about ASAP Rocky. I had said some shit about T.I. I was just talking shit. My whole thing too, I was like, they ain't gonna never fucking see me or meet me. But I was at this big ass party, some blog through a party. I was at this big ass party with my homie in LA. And a nigga walked up to me, he was like, "Hey, some ASAP niggas outside wanna holler at you." And I was like, "Oh nigga, let's do this." Like I thought somebody was coming to check me about the shit I said in the song. I was like, "Nigga, let's go." Like, nigga, rap beef, let's do this. And I walked outside and it was Eddie Baker and his homie, and they're like, "Yo, bro, you fuck with your shit." I know he don't fuck with them no more. This is how long ago that was. And he walked up, he's like, "Yo, we fuck with your shit. We trying to get some work." And I was like, "Oh, okay, nigga, hell yeah." Ooh, that was the first time I ever met Eddie Baker. It was like back in the day when he was fucking with ASAP. Him and his homie saw us at a party and they walked up and was showing love. But when the niggas, the people I was with, when they told me, all they said was, "Hey, some ASAP niggas outside." I was like, "Nigga, what?"
You thought you were about to fight somebody.
Yeah, like I thought they was coming to fuck me up or something. I thought they was like, that's that nigga that said some shit about Wooty Woo.
That's funny. That's funny.
Look, that expresses to you how Sacramento I am.
Yeah. Do you know like
I'm very Sacramento.
what blog through the party?
Huh?
What blog through the party?
Oh, dude, I have no fucking idea. That shit, I can't remember that. That shit was like 2012. That shit was hella long ago.
Damn, bro. Shit.
I don't remember half of my fucking performance sets. That shit was hella long ago.
I want to ask something that you were involved with like a couple years later than that. You did a VR music video. Weren't you the first rapper to do a VR music video?
By technicality, I'm the first person to be filmed in full volumetric virtual reality. By a stipulation, Run the Jewels is the first people to be filmed in VR because they released that shit first. My shit wasn't released to the public. It was some company called, "Hey, can y'all do me a favor? I'm doing something real quick. Can you just shh for a second?" I did something with this company called I8 Reality, I think it is. And it was supposed to be like a demo project for like the HTC Vive, all the VR headsets. Yeah. It was going to be like a demo project. When you buy the shit, that video was going to be in there and it was my song. And at that time, nobody was doing that shit. It literally, like no one had done it. I was the first person to be a part of it. I only got it because the person that they needed to do it flaked out last minute. Like the day before he was supposed to come in, he flaked out. My homie was working there and he literally called me like 5 times. I was doing something and I ain't answered. He called me like 5 times. I stepped out. I'm like, "Yo, what's good? Like, you straight?" And he's like, "Dude, can you come to LA tomorrow?" I'm like, "Yeah, why?" "Dude, this company wants to do this thing." I was like, "Oh, that's fucking crazy." So I actually got that shit. Shout out to my boy JT. I got that because of my boy JT. He was working for that company. And literally, whoever the fuck was supposed to do it, they bailed out last minute. And he just so happened to fucking be there, called me, and I got down there and did it.
That's beautiful. And now you're an innovator, man. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. The way they were talking about it, and like now it's like it's a thing of the fucking past because everything does it now. You can do it with your fucking cell phone now. But like you could like sit next to me while I was rapping the song. And you could like walk behind me and shit. You could walk over there somewhere. They had different backdrops and shit. Like the backdrop that I originally filmed it on was Venice Beach. So like I was sitting on a wall in Venice Beach rapping. And with the headset on, you could walk around me. You could fucking like walk up the street. Like you could literally be there with me while I was performing.
That's fucking awesome, man. You know, isn't
but like I said,
from around there?
It was a demo piece. It was a demo product. Like it was never like I said, you would buy a headset and it'd be in there already, like on some sample shit. You know, you buy your phone, it's got those pictures shit to show you the quality. It was that type of shit. It was a demo video.
That's dope. But isn't A-Wing in LA? Isn't that where she's based around?
No, she's from Berlin.
Oh shit! I did not know that.
Yeah, she.
How did you link up with her for that song? That song makes me float.
I've been the homie Shuko. I've been working with Shuko forever. Like literally, I've been working with Shuko since like 2014. Cause when he first started hitting me up, he was telling me like, oh, I work with this label, I do this, and I was on some like, motherfucker, you got money, like, don't be trying to play me. But he's a solid ass dude, and he's always giving me some crazy ass opportunities. So like over time, I started learning to trust him more and shit. Like I didn't have very much trust because I didn't know him. He was overseas and shit. That's my homie though. He'll always just like send me some crazy ass records, or he'll just hit my phone and be like, yo, so and so wants you to get on this. If you're down, they'll work out all the details. Cause I can't remember his name. There was another DJ, like a Turkish DJ. He got me a spot on one of his songs. There's this other producer from Germany, I believe. His name is Simo. I done did a bunch of shit with Simo because of Shuko. I did some shit with Juliana because Juliana Townsend, a fucking incredible singer and an amazing fucking model. I did some shit with her because of Shuko. Like Shuko is like my guy. Anytime people want like a hard ass fucking American West Coast verse, I guess they go for me. Cause like Shuko always hits me up like, yo, the homie's doing this, they want you on this. There was another dude. What's his name? Fuck, I can't remember his name now. What their group is called La Brasa Band. They're like a big ass fucking like pop soul band from Germany, I believe. I be getting everybody's shit mixed up, but I be feeling bad about that. I think they from Germany too. I had a fucking song on one of their remixes. Like they're big. That was like being on a fucking. That was damn near like being on a Creed song. Like I dropped a verse on like what is damn near the equivalent to like German Creed. Like I was like, oh shit, like nigga, we're out here.
Damn, bro. Damn, like that's like he sounds like he's lined up hella shit for you. I fuck with him or like. I
started working with Awin because of Shuko. Like he do a lot of her production and he worked with her. So yeah, I'm guessing he showed her my shit or she heard it. Because I know I do got a big ass following in Europe. I have an extremely big following in Europe because I went out there and it's like I think Germany is my second. On all my top 5 countries, it's like the US, Canada, the UK, Germany, and then like fucking France. Like I'm hella fucking big in Germany and France. I've been trying to get out there and stay out there for hella long.
Let me see if I can go to your. I will later, but I'm gonna check your Spotify monthly listeners, and I will. Damn, that's 500,000. But like, it'll probably say like the countries that you're talking about.
I mean,
you know what I mean?
In the app, there's like Spotify for artists. In my analytics, it tells me my top countries. Yeah, those are my top countries. My top 5 countries are U.S., Canada, fucking Germany, the UK, and France.
Well, shouts out to those countries and.
Hell yeah.
So, how'd you link up with your manager that you currently work with?
Montage?
Yeah.
He just jumped in my email and sent me some beats one day. Like, I was still waiting for my label shit to finish up, so I had a whack-ass fucking job. I was fucking delivering newspapers to, like, grocery stores and shit. And, it was hella early one morning. It was like 4:30 in the morning. My phone buzzed. Fucking opened the email and it was like 15 fucking beats attached to it. And I started going through them. I'm like, oh, these are fucking crazy. Like, I'm like, wow, these are amazing. I hit him up. I'm like, yo, who are you? Where are you from, man? Like, let's get some work in. He was like, yo, bro, I fuck with your shit. Like, let's build. And I've been working with him since. That was probably like 2016 Nah. I don't even fucking remember when that was, man. That was so long ago. Like, that was hella long ago, and he just been sending me beats ever since. Because No More Rappers is technically our second album. We got a whole fucking album that never came out. It's called Terrar.
Yeah. And that sounds like it all like came full circle. And shouts out to you for coming on the show. I really enjoyed this. Is there anything you'd like to announce about your music or any plans or anybody you'd like to shout out before we wrap this up?
I'm about to drop tour dates soon. My booking manager has been working on some dates for me. Fucking Falling Up in Dio. Look out for those 2 albums. Those are literally like, I hate when people say this, but I'm gonna say it. Those are my babies.
Yeah.
Those are my pride and joy right now. I've been working super hard. I'm still fighting the algorithm. I've been fighting the algorithm for like 15 fucking years. But yeah, just look out for Dio and Falling Up. those are my pride and joy. Those albums are gonna solidify to people finally that are like, yeah, this is the greatest motherfucker to ever do this shit.
Yeah, thank you for coming on the show, man. I really appreciate it. I've been a huge fan. I've been listening since like 2019, man. Thank you. Or 2018.
Thank you for having me, bro. Thank you. I appreciate the love and hospitality, man. Straight up.
Link in the description to your socials and music, and peace out.